Hi, this is St. Jerome of Crypto Experiences bringing you yet another crypto experience. Today is March 11th of 2023. And I just want to say it's a wonderful life. I'm so happy that, wait, what's behind my head now? Silicon Valley Bank. I heard something about that in the news. What was it? What was it that I heard? Oh, the FDIC seized the bank and they're paying all the depositors that have insurance up to $250,000 for each investor. Now, how does this relate with crypto? Believe me, I'm going to cleverly tie it together at the end. But right now, what happened? So, this FDIC seized the Silicon Valley Bank, and let's look inside it and see what's going on in there.
Sally, don't be afraid because see, some of your houses over there in Oprah's neighborhood, and some of Oprah's $500 million is helping to fund Roblox, so grandchildren can play their video games, and some of yours, their Rocket Lab, yours is helping to fund the USDC coin that fell.
Tremendously yesterday anyway. So, well, that was wonderful life, and that was fun for Jimmy, and he convinced everybody that, hey, it's okay because you've all got your part of your assets of the bank in someplace else. But you know what? The people who ran on the bank on Thursday, this last past week, they caused the door to shut down. And when the door shut down, back in the day in 2008, we had a bailout, and the government swooped in. They swooped in and gave the banks all money. They're too big to fill after all, and just printed some more on that fiat printing press, and voila, fixed. But this time, it's a bail-in, and that's where you think you have your own money, but it's actually the bank's money. You are a creditor, and you only get up to the insured amount, which is 250,000. A lot of people had millions of dollars, like some of those people who had invested in the Stillman Bank, and their assets were spread around that Jimmy was talking about. So, so anyway, so the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation said, let's do a bail-in this time. And what's a bail-in? Seems we have a monopoly situation going on. Is this a bank bail-in or a bank bailout? Same person, same result, different pocket. This time the pocket is the depositor. Now, one of those folks that was, or corporations that was bailed in, was Circle, and Circle makes the USDC crypto stable dollar. And when people got warning late, like on Friday night, that there was something wrong, people started selling their USDC and trading it for other cryptos. The two biggest ones, of course, were other stable coins. And the one they mostly ran to was USDT, called Tether, and there were several $billion ran over there. But also, the USDC was running into BUSD, the Binance coin. So Binance, I heard, put a stop to trade with that, and of all people, Coinbase stopped trading USDC, I hear, and that's their coin, right? Yeah, I think so. Um, so the unheard of stable coin of $1 dropped down. I remember seeing it at 90 cents once last night. Let me check and see what it is today. Well, I just checked on CoinGecko, and BUSD is up there at 99 point something. So they're close to $1. That's not bad. Took a little bit of a hit because of this. But USDC is down 10%. So they're down at 90 point something. So ouch. Has anything like this ever happened before? Well, unfortunately, yes. I remember one in the not too recent past, happened in Cyprus. And here are the people of Cyprus trying to get their funds out of their bank. What happened there was a bail-in. I think I recall that the magic number was 40%. So the depositors lost 40%, but they did get to keep the majority of their funds. And while they were waiting and trying to get in the bank and trying to get some funds, they couldn't get anything from their ATMs. Nothing. They couldn't go inside the bank. They were shut out until they reopened finally, and then they were able to draw some. But there were some lucky people in Cyprus that were able to get some of their currency. Who were those lucky people? And that's one thing that actually pointed me towards crypto was when I heard this. There were Bitcoin ATMs. I'm not sure how many in the country, but the people who had Bitcoin back at the bank run at Cyprus, they could actually get their currency out. So here is some ATMs from Cyprus. I don't know what time period, but just to show you that, there's that Bitcoin ATM. And if you had Bitcoin, you could get currency and you could get along. Other people were locked out for several days. Remember these kids playing in the Weimar Bucks back in the day, where each of the bills was trillions and trillions of Reichmark? And finally, there were some bank runs that came about because of this. Ouch. That doesn't look very good. I want my funds out of the bank. That is a lot of people by the bank door, and there are some German policemen that weren't going to make much headway. This was in 1931, so about 8 years after that, when they finally started to get a handle on their hyperinflation. So we had some bank runs of our own back at the Great Depression. So this is towards the end of the Great Depression, and money was getting tight and hard to get to, and some of the banks had to do close the door to the public, and a lot of banks failed at that time. So, well, Argentina's kind of used to bank run. It's happened a lot of times in their country, and they're used to dealing with hyperinflation and resets and hyperinflation reset. Here's kind of a local one years ago in Argentina. And the neighbor to the north of Argentina, the Banco de Venezuela, we saw in a previous podcast I had how there was a dumpster full of bolivars, the currency of Venezuela, underneath the present regime. And they filled the dumpster full of these bolivares outside the Bitcoin conference, and no one touched them. But yet they're right outside the answer to the problem, the Bitcoin conference. Here's people waiting to get to their ATM. Luck of that happening and see how much you. And I think a very notable bank run recently was in China, of all places. They had massive run on the Bank of China, and this is after that had already been kind of quenched, and they didn't let anybody in. There are just hundreds and hundreds of protesters outside wanting to get to their deposits, and I don't think they ever did. But have no fear. The answer is here to the Chinese bank solution. Let's roll out the CBDC, the central bank digital currency. The dream of the banks is to get rid of that dirty fiat currency and go to a nice, clean fiat electronic currency, a digital currency. Now, that sounds like not a bad idea. That way we don't have to worry about this happening again. The CBDC, look, it connects the world so great. It could never be misused, right? So, what's that? China, there's social scores, and we don't like what you're doing, so maybe we limit your funds somehow. Maybe I don't know about the freedom element of that. Could CBDCs be powered by a trustworthy system? Well, there are a lot of people in a certain camp that looks like this, the X camp. They're a type of X men and women, but not the ones that get you copyrighted. So the XRP maximalists are saying that XRP is going to be connecting all the financial institutes of the world, and it's going to move liquidity like lickety split, powered by Ripple Labs. So that's what their solution is for CBDC. And honestly, sounds like maybe a better deal than having the government totally do it and having somebody power it. So can any other crypto run this too? Probably XRP is the only one. I doubt if anybody else has. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? heavy footsteps. There's a CBDC giant in the room. It is Stellar Lumens, who those maximalists, the XLM maximalists, say Stellar is going to be that central bank currency digital asset. Well, maybe so. So what I've been hearing, I'm new at XRP and I'm new at XLM. I've heard about them for years, but as far as the full capability, it looks like both of them are candidates for a new system where it goes all digital. Is it going to be a good, trustworthy system with a lot of freedom, or is it going to be something that is repressive? Well, we're hoping for a good system, and I think there's a possibility we're going to eventually get that good system here. So that's what's kind of happening new on the crypto world. But hey, don't forget the old favorites, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and those in that camp. There's already workable currencies now that are lickety split, go across the world. You can do a Litecoin transaction, especially. It's very fast. It's not fiat. There's only going to be 84 million of them every minute. I heard Clint Westwood, the grand uh, leader of Litecoin in a lot of the area there, was talking about that it's not going to mint the last Litecoin to about I think he said about the year 2040 or greater. And there's going to be 84 million at that time. I think there's 70 some million now. And I also stated that only if everybody in the world had just a part of a Litecoin, they could only own 1/100th of a Litecoin. Well, if that's true for Litecoin, think about Bitcoin. You can barely hold a piece of Bitcoin, but Bitcoins and Litecoins can both be divided down to one can be divided down to 100 million parts. So then that gets a little bit more divisible. So I know Bitcoin, you call them Satoshis, and might be wrong here. I think they're called lights. Litecoin. You can tell me in the comments below if I just messed up. So anyway, Stillman Valley, Silicon Valley was a big deal that just happened, and people are still scrambling from that. Will there be any, all puns intended, any ripple effect downstream to other banks? Will that ripple effect be XRP, that in the Ripple Labs, or will it be something else? Something a little more tough to get through in the next time. So I hope everybody's positioned well. Will this mess be fixed, or will we all be left holding a broken piggy bank? I'm actually pretty optimistic. I think we'll be okay. So I wanted to give a shout out to several people last night who sent out, actually Friday night, who sent out warnings before all this happened. Caleb and Brown sent emergency email to people that they do business with and said, watch out for USDC. There's a lot of things brewing. They said you might want to think about moving your USDC. A lot of people got out of USDC and went to Tether USDT, several $billions, and some went to Binance. And Binance has about 8 billion in assets, so I think Tether has like 70 billion in assets. And Binance, I think, stopped their trading with USDC at a certain point. And as we talked about already, USDC was down quite a bit. So this all affects the crypto, the digital asset community. I think XRP, XLM, and all the ISO 222 compliant coins will do well in the future. But I haven't given up with Bitcoin and Litecoin and some of those other good ones too. The XRP folks are saying that those are going away. The Bitcoin maximalists are saying XRP, that's a banker coin. So somewhere in between, maybe at the value you can go right now and get XRP for around 36 cents today. I'm guessing XLM for 8 or 9 cents. Litecoin's taking a beating. I think it's in the $60 range. Those are all discount prices. Even a discount price when Bitcoin is around 20,000. Remember, you can buy little parts of that. You don't have to spend $20,000. Some people that are new think you have to. So, well, thank you. I want to get this podcast out quickly why this was a topic. I still have my 100,000 Satoshi, 100,000 Satoshi. Yeah, 100,000 Satoshi contest going. That's about $25. To the first one to comment after my 1,000 subscriber. Getting big. I appreciate it. I'd like to get up to 1,000. Please hit a like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up on that. That helps the old algorithm. Speaking of Caleb and Brown, I have a discount code down below. They were so good. You get it. It's a great deal. You get 3.5% permanent trading uh, percentage when you trade, and you get a personal broker. And that's like amazing. And you do have to invest around $2,000, or you have to trade the equivalency in another digital currency if you want to trade for that $2,000. But if you have, you can't swing that, and a lot of people can't swing that, and you just say you have 50 cents. I've heard on strike, you can buy Bitcoin as little as 50 cents. Wow. Then when you have enough of Bitcoin, you can move Bitcoin to an Exodus wallet, and inside of Exodus, you can trade inside that platform. You can actually trade for most of those X tokens. Caleb and Brown also will trade for most of those, but I think they only let you buy IOTA. So thanks for watching once again. I'm going to try to get another podcast out within a week, and I appreciate all you do. Thank you. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment. And if I don't know the answers, I will try to find them. Goodbye, and I will see you soon.